Hi everyone, in today's video we are cooking crispy buffalo spiced chicken with HelloFresh. For this recipe you will need a few things. All of the ingredients are included in this brown paper bag and the meats are currently in the fridge for food safety purposes. Besides that, the other food-related things that you'll need are kosher salt, black pepper, olive oil. It says cooking oil as well, but it's fine. I just use olive oil for simplicity's sake. And 2 tablespoons of butter. The tools that you will need are a cutting board, a knife, a medium-sized pot, 2 baking sheets, a potato masher, a small bowl, and a potato peeler. Besides the potato peeler, I also have a meat thermometer handy. I like it just as an added precaution. Other than that, you just need some paper towels and a strainer, which I have sitting over the sink right now. And the first step in this recipe is to preheat our oven to 425 degrees. So I will do that right now. While our oven is preheating, we can go ahead and wash and dry our produce. So I'm gonna open up our bag. All right, we have carrots, potatoes, scallions, fry seasoning, 3 packs of sour cream, chicken cutlets, which are sitting in the fridge until we need them, panko breadcrumbs, Frank's seasoning blend, blue cheese dressing, and hot sauce. So we'll wash and dry our potatoes, scallions, and carrots. With our fresh produce, we are to trim, peel, and cut our carrots. I'm gonna have 2 different size knives. It's a little bit easier to cut when you've got a bigger and heavier knife for something like a carrot this size. So I've just trimmed the ends off of the carrots. Now I'm going to peel them. They are instructing us to cut these carrots on a diagonal, which I will show you, but if it's too complicated, just cut them this way. It's totally fine. So you see how I'm cutting that on a diagonal this way, and it's creating these longer, thin slices of carrot. It's not going to make them taste any differently. I would focus more on how thick the slices themselves are. They say about 1/2 inch thick. The reason you want to do that consistently is so that it will also cook consistently in the oven. I've put all my carrots into this bowl for now. Next, we are going to dice potatoes into 1/2 inch pieces. Then we will trim and thinly slice our scallions. I'm going to trim off the roots and then cut the white piece of the scallion. And the greens will go in this bowl. We'll set this aside because our next step is to toss these carrots on a baking sheet with a large drizzle of oil and salt and pepper. We are also going to use half of our fry seasoning on these carrots. Great, now our carrots are tossed in our olive oil, salt, pepper, and half of our fry seasoning. This is going to go into the oven. We're going to put this on the top rack of the oven for 20 to 25 minutes until golden and tender. While carrots cook, place potatoes in a medium bowl filled with just enough water to cover the potatoes by about 1 inch. Bring to a boil and cook until tender, about 15 to 20 minutes. While we're waiting to bring our potatoes to a boil, we are going to pat our chicken dry and season with salt and pepper. I can smell the carrots. All right, we've patted our chicken dry. We're going to season with salt and pepper. All right, we seasoned with salt and pepper on one side. We're going to flip it over to season the other side. Place 1 tablespoon of butter in a shallow microwave-safe dish and heat for about 30 seconds in the microwave until melted. I'm cutting open the panko breadcrumbs, which I'm going to add to my melted butter. I'm ripping open the Frank's seasoning and adding that full packet to the melted butter. And finally, a pinch of salt and pepper. Stir this until combined. I'm getting ahead of myself with what the instructions say to do, but I've gone ahead and removed my chicken from the cutting board and placed my chicken on some parchment paper on top of a cooking sheet. The instructions do say to use a lightly oiled baking sheet, but parchment paper has always worked fine for me, so choose what works best for you or what you have on hand. The reason I do this is I don't want to go to this next step of spreading the tops of the chicken with sour cream and then kind of have a messier situation of trying to transfer that from the cutting board to the baking sheet. I'm going to cut open the sour cream and brush just this one packet onto both tops of the chicken. So I'm brushing my sour cream. If you don't have a brush like that, just use a spoon or whatever you have on hand. Next it says, working one piece at a time, dip brushed sides of chicken into panko mixture, pressing to adhere. So we've coated just the tops of our chicken. It's not necessary to coat the undersides with our panko mixture. So next we will roast our chicken on the middle rack for about 15 to 18 minutes until browned and cooked through. While chicken cooks, in a small bowl combine blue cheese dressing, scallion whites, and remaining sour cream. The instructions say to reserve 1/2 cup of the potato cooking liquid once your potatoes are done boiling. I usually skip this step because the only reason for doing it is to re-add some of that back into the potatoes. I like very thick mashed potatoes, so you can feel free to skip that if you feel that way too. I've drained the liquid. The next step is to mash the potatoes, but I'm going to actually transfer these to a metal bowl. And 1 tablespoon of butter. Stir in half the scallion greens. And season with salt and pepper. Keep your potatoes covered and off heat until ready to serve. As I mentioned, I'm making 2 servings with this recipe, so all that's left to do is divide my carrots, mashed potatoes, and chicken between my 2 plates. And as planned, I did use my meat thermometer just to be absolutely certain that my chicken was cooked all the way through. And there you have it. That is the crispy buffalo spiced chicken from HelloFresh. Don't forget that you have your side of buffalo cheese dressing, some green scallions, and a packet of hot sauce. Sprinkle some scallions. You can take a drizzle of dressing. I think this is especially good on the chicken. And you can drizzle a little bit of hot sauce on there. And I cut in here and see what this... I am really happy with that. The chicken is cooked perfectly. Make sure you don't overcook this. You don't want to dry it out. It is so juicy with just enough spice. It kind of cuts the heat with the blue cheese dressing. I already sampled the potatoes, so I know that those are really good. The carrots are beautifully seasoned. I definitely recommend trying out this recipe if you haven't already, and I hope that you enjoyed this cook-along recipe with me today. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, bye.